Right, and then talking of all things lovely and positive, that brings me on nicely to my next guest now. It's the first Monday of the month, which means it's time for our friend of the show, Kate Hills, to join me in the studio. Kate is what they call a positive living coach, whoever they are, by the way, and she'll tell you what that means in just a second. But she's been through a lot in her life, she'll be the first to admit that, and now she spends time trying to help others improve their outlook on life. And Kate joins me in the studio now. Hello, you. How are you?
Hello, darling. I'm always so pleased to see you.
Oh, mate, I look forward to you coming on the show. I normally get wind of it a couple of days before, and I can't wait for you to come on the show. Now, of course, I would hope that everybody's hanging on to my every word and listens to the show.
I'm sure they are.
But for those who perhaps haven't listened to the show before or haven't caught our chats, remind us what a positive living coach is.
Well, actually, I help people understand their thoughts. I suppose you could say that, because we all have, I forget the percentage of thoughts that we have flooding around our brains constantly, but it's an awful lot throughout the day, and a lot of those aren't always positive, shall we say.
So your job is to help us to help us get those refined, isn't it? I would guess.
It's kind of making you realise that actually not all your thoughts are positive. Where do those negative thoughts come from? Where do they start from? Sometimes it's childhood, but getting you to actually rewire your brain to think more positively.
Now, if anybody's listening to this at the moment, they're thinking, why should I listen to you? Who are you to tell me what to do? Remind us what got you into this in the first place, because I think it's always important for us to mention that.
Bodie, I was diagnosed with depression at 17, which I know is like really young, but when you look at the people that are being diagnosed with depression, sometimes it's a lot younger than that today.
No, absolutely.
You know, I mean, I'm talking quite a few years ago. I'm not going to go into how many years, but to me, it was almost like a life sentence. No one said to me that I could get better from it. So I was on medication for an awful lot of years, and really, I wasn't living my life. And I realised that because I was in a constant state of being fearful, you know, all these negative thoughts. There was a point where I couldn't leave my house. So that kind of made me look at other things besides going down the medication route, which, like I say, I'd been on for many years. And that was the start of it all, really.
And that was the start of your journey. But we must make it clear, and to anybody who's listening, this is not a chat about depression, is it? This can branch out into all different kinds of direction. So let's talk about affirmations then. Why have you decided to talk about this on this Monday?
Because I'm so aware that there are lots of people that make affirmations. We all make affirmations constantly. Even just saying, you know, that's not very good, is it? That's an affirmation.
Yeah.
So we're constantly making affirmations. But I am so aware, I suppose, because I've changed my way of thinking so much, of the affirmations that people make constantly. And none of them are very positive.
Right.
So I thought, okay, maybe this would be a good thing to talk about. And I love to use the analogy of a field.
Yeah, take me through that. Go on.
Okay. If you imagine that your brain is like a field.
Yes.
And there is...
Well, I'm a muddy field. My name means a muddy field, but don't get me on that one. And I'll have Jeff on the phone in a second. But sorry, I'm interrupting you.
So there is a path going across this field, and we follow this path. It's one we use. It's one that everybody uses. And it's a path well trodden, and it's easy. And you can liken that to our thoughts and beliefs about ourselves that we've taken on from other people, things that we've learned as we've grown up. But if we want to change our thoughts, create a new path across the field, it takes a bit of work at first.
And we shall talk about that work that is required, Kate, after Gilbert O'Sullivan and Nothing Rhymed on BBC Coventry and Warwickshire.
Weekday mornings with Vic Minette. We get going with the phone in at 9, and the stories you share are just brilliant.
Not one of my favourite names.
Barry? What's wrong with a Barry?
I told my oldest and he was nearly going to be Barry. He said, I'm glad I was.
Oh, what did you go for instead?
Gary with just one arm.
Vic Minette on BBC Coventry and Warwickshire. That's my favourite. Go on then. You bring the stories, I'll bring the tunes. And I'll see you tomorrow morning at 9. BBC Coventry and Warwickshire.
if I give up the seat I've been saving to some elderly lady or man? Am I being a good boy? Am I your pride and joy? Mother, please, if you please, say I am. And if while in the course of my duty I perform an unfortunate tape, would you punish me so unbelievably so? Never again will I make that mistake. This feeling inside me could never deny me the right to be wrong if I choose. And this pleasure I get from, say, winning a bet is to lose. When I'm drinking my Bonaparte shandy, eating more than enough apple pies, will I glance at my screen and see real human beings starved to death right in front of my eyes? Nothing old, nothing new, nothing ventured, nothing gained, nothing stillborn or lost, nothing further than proof, nothing wilder than you, nothing older than time, nothing sweeter than wine, nothing physically, recklessly, hopelessly blind, nothing I couldn't say, nothing why, cause today, nothing rhyme. Inside me could never deny me the right to be wrong if I choose. And this pleasure I get from, say, winning a bet is to lose. Nothing good, nothing bad, nothing ventured, nothing gained, nothing stillborn or lost, nothing further than proof, nothing wilder than you, nothing older than time, nothing sweeter than wine, nothing physically, recklessly, hopelessly blind, nothing I couldn't say, nothing why, cause today, nothing rhyme.
Ain't that a lovely song? That's Gilbert O'Sullivan and Nothing Rhymed on BBC Coventry and Warwickshire. So it's first Monday of the month, which means Kate Hills, our positive living coach, is on the show once again to set us up for the week, probably set us up for the year. By the way, you were in here the other week, weren't you, doing a bit of your Jedi mind skills on our on a few of the staff here? How did that go?
It went really well. The lovely Lucy organised it. I think she's going to organise some more in the future. But no, they were kind of zoned out. It was wonderful.
Oh, that is good. I've noticed you've been very relaxed lately, so it obviously worked. But look, back to you then. So yes. We're talking about affirmations. Yeah. So and how that can improve our life. So who are we talking about here? Whose life can this improve?
Well, do you know what? I actually think everybody should use affirmations because, like I say, we all affirm things, but we aren't aware of what we're actually saying, the language that we're using. So I think what we need to do is actually turn those negative words around into positive ones.
And what would that do if we managed to do that?
Oh, well, research states that it takes 40 days to create new neural pathways in the brain.
Right.
That's why I use the analogy of the field, because once you start, creating a new pathway, imagining that, field to be the brain, it becomes easier and easier, and you start to create new neural pathways in the brain by continually saying a positive affirmation for 40 days. You are literally rewiring your brain.
Right. So I'm going to write some of these down now. Crikey, I need some of these at the moment. What? Give me some examples of ones we can work on. And you say about 40 days.
So you can start your affirmations with "I am,"
right,
and obviously make a positive statement after that. So I am successful, I am abundant, I am confident. So, it doesn't have to be, real kind of difficult statements. It can be very, very simple. Or you can start an affirmation with, every day I am becoming more and more, and you can put at ease and peace with myself. Abundant, confident, successful, happy, all these positive words, empowered, anything that you want. Or you can say, every day I'm becoming more and more, and kind of, I don't know, what are the things that you want to achieve in life? Do you want to be a better speaker? Kind of write your affirmation to suit you. But when you've written out your affirmation and you repeat it every day, finish it with a positive feeling like, and this makes me feel amazing.
Right.
Or this makes me feel wonderful.
Now,
or this makes me feel so happy.
Now, you've said you've got to do this for 40 days. It's not going to be easy. What would you say to anybody who's listening to this at the moment and goes, what a load of mumbo-jumbo you're talking here? What would you say to them?
Okay. So I would say to that person, if they came to see me on a one-to-one, are you happy with your life? If you can say to me, I am happy, I wake up in the morning and I am just so pleased to be here, happy to jump out of bed and start my day. Good, you're doing very well.
Yes, we envy you.
But if you're not, then why not try this? Because affirmations do work. The research has been done. The scientists have done the research that states 40 days is all it takes to create a new neuro pathway. So why not give it a try?
And do you know what? Why not give it a try? And what have you got to lose? Kate, I love having you on the show. I really do. And you're heading off somewhere else. You've got a workshop going on tonight, haven't you?
I have, yes. At the Watch Centre in Hillfields, I am doing a workshop called Inner Peace. So if you fancy finding your inner peace, then come along, because it's part of the Coventry Peace Festival and it's totally free.
Brilliant. Sounds great. Best of luck with that. I'm just writing one down myself now, okay? Tell me. So if I say it often enough, I enjoy working with my producer, Magic Liz, will I start believing it?
Most definitely.
Right, there you go. I'll give that a go.